We are staying on top of breaking news this afternoon. Just minutes ago, 10 TV's Bennett Haberly asked AEP leaders about the sudden and widespread power outages happening across Ohio. Bennett, you asked them some tough questions. What did you learn?
First off, the utility apologized for the inconvenience for a lot of people because we know it is upsetting for a number of folks given the high temperatures and the fact that they could be without power for at least another day or two. We'll get to those tough questions in a moment, but let's start with what we know about what happened and what is next. AEP was telling us that it is a combination of things. It's the heat and damage that happened to transmission lines in both the northeast section of Columbus and the southwest section of Columbus. The damage done to those transmission lines because of the storm, and couple that with the heat, created a scenario where they felt compelled to take people off the grid because they didn't want to, in their view, risk further damage to the grid and also have to endure longer, more sustained power outages in the future. I asked questions about whether or not this meant that our grid was fragile. They denied that, saying that's not the case, that they have a robust system in place. They have not anticipated this. But I did ask them questions about the fact that they chose to remove people from power while this repair work is undergoing or being undertaken at this point. Here's a little bit of that exchange about what they had to say to the customers who were inconvenienced.
We're sorry. I mean, that's one thing. We're sorry. This is not something, the very last thing that we want to do is outage a customer. The very last thing we want to do. From an emergency standpoint, we're doing this to protect the integrity of the entire grid. And it's really critical that we took this action.
So the next question, of course, for a lot of people is, when are you going to get your power back on? And right now they're telling us that it's penciled in, not in ink, but penciled in for a lot of these customers who are out to have their power restored by midnight Thursday. But they said there is that potential, of course, that it could be delayed even longer. They're not committed to that right now, but they are saying that they could have an update at some point. They are asking folks, though, if you are still with power, that between the hours of noon and 7 p.m. when the grid is, has a lot of people on it, to not do the extraneous things like washing the dishes, washing the clothes. But they said they are well aware of the fact that a lot of people are upset by this. Reporting live outside the AEP offices in Gahanna, Bennett Haberly, 10 TV News.